This is a Headgum podcast.
Sometimes when I'm drunk, I do play like kind of an erotic clown, and it's like it's sort of like a mime, like, but it's bad. And my husband like
could you
hates
do
it, but he loves it. Like he'll be like, "Oh, stop it!" But then he can't stop staring at me.
Give us a little bit of it.
It's really bad. I mean, but it'll be like, first of all, imagine me totally drunk.
Okay, imagined it.
And it's like I'm trying to like it'll be like I'm sort of like coming on to him, but then like I'll be like having to like take my pants off, and I'm like.
Hey, Jesse Klein.
Hi, Liz Feldman.
I gotta be honest, I have not really been able to fully collect myself since watching the finale of Dying for Sex.
Yeah, I'd like to make an announcement, and I don't usually start an announcement.
Hear ye.
Yeah, Paul Revere.
Yep.
There is a very good chance that I'm going to cry during this today.
Okay.
Not just today, during this
episode.
I can't guarantee that I will, but I certainly cannot promise that I won't.
Well, no, I'm going to try to make it happen.
You're not going to need to do anything.
Just because a certain person is sitting here with us?
A certain person is here. We're going to have like we're going to be talking about the show Dying for Sex.
Yeah. Which, if you haven't seen it, if you have a heart inside your body, if you have a friend in your life.
Even if you don't, honestly.
If you're an alien from outer fucking space.
Oh, we're going to get to the aliens. But
you are dead inside if you do not feel something from watching this show. If you are dead inside, watch the show.
Yeah, you might come back to life.
Yeah, you might resurrect. You might have risen yourself.
Just in time for Easter.
Yeah, honestly.
Is that how Jesus came back?
I'm pretty
Dying for
sure.
Sex? I mean, I haven't seen you in a bit.
I know. I was with my family for the
Pesach,
the Jewish holiday of Passover, otherwise known as the Last Supper.
Happy Passover to all who celebrate.
Thank you, and to you.
Isn't that always just the worst? To all who celebrate.
You're like, I get
and
it.
And the parentheses is like, you fucking weirdos.
Yeah, exactly. We celebrate it culturally. We're not a religious family, but it's like basically our Thanksgiving.
Right,
It's Jewish Thanksgiving. And it has wonderful themes. And it was my daughter Ezra's first sort of conscious Passover where she participated in the finding of the Afikoman.
Oh, I mean,
and
my
if you
heart
know what
is
I'm
full.
talking about, if you're part of the 0.2%,
Dayenu.
Thank you.
Asher read the 4 questions.
Manish Tana.
So you would think I'd be cried out already.
Oh,
because that's
very sweet.
Very sweet.
Yeah.
But I wasn't going to talk about my child. My update for you was going to be another Raya update.
Hey, Gentiles, tune back in.
Yeah, Gentiles, finish up in the bathroom, come back, we're done. Wipe, pull up, we're back.
Stop skipping 10 seconds ahead. We're here for you.
You know what you're doing. You're skipping ahead. Easter. Okay,
Raya guy.
Okay, so here's another one.
Oh, God. This is your amazing, incredible journey.
My incredible journey.
Of being a single gal on Raya.
I don't know if it's just going particularly badly. But again, I'm like, maybe the world has changed and I need to learn the rules. Okay, so this was a guy. I had reached out to him.
Okay.
And I don't know if he's listening. I'm sorry. I'm not going to mention your name. But I had reached out to him.
I don't feel sorry.
I don't know who should be sorry. I reached out. He seemed nice. I'm sure he is nice. A little banter, and then it was like, would you like to get like he was like, would you want to get together? I'm like, sure. So then he was like, how about Thursday? And I said, that sounds good. And then he said, okay, I might have trouble keeping a straight face.
It's a good thing it's a podcast.
Okay. He goes, okay, I'm supposed to go to my rarely attended, and then this was a word, it's spelled Brocial.
Brochel?
It took me a while, and then I was like, oh my God, brochel. He said, I'm supposed to go to my rarely attended brochel. Now, already you're probably like, this is what? You think this is the point of the story. It's not.
It's not. Well, I'm leaning in.
I'm supposed to go to my rarely attended brochel Thursday at 10 a.m. Can you meet before that?
What?
And I'm like, so then I die.
I like that.
I have to watch Dying for Sex to come back to life.
I'm so sorry.
I pass away.
In what way? I love that you started the story by saying maybe I'm not doing something right.
I don't know.
In what world are you the one with the issue when the man is attending a brochel and asking you on a date?
It seem congruous. It's not like this guy is appearing as like
to 10 a.m.
a bro or like,
oh my
it's not in that
God.
world. So then, okay, so he goes, can you meet before that? And I go, because I'm really trying to make this relationship work. I go, sorry, do you mean before Thursday or before 10 a.m.? Because I'm like, it can't possibly be before 10 a.m. And he goes, oh, sorry, I meant Thursday a.m. like 8:45 or something.
Are you fucking kidding me?
He goes, I meant Thursday a.m. like 8:45 or something, ? Before I have to see the guys.
Wow.
At this point, I put on my running shoes and I literally run to the moon and back because I'm so fucking wound up.
Oh my.
I'm losing my mind. I'm laughing so hard and just absolutely shredded as a soul on this earth.
I am deeply sorry.
So then I write back.
I'm speechless.
It took me a few hours, and now I'm just invested in like, what is happening? I write, I gotta be honest. I don't think 8:45 on a weekday morning is anyone's fave time to meet a stranger.
God, you're being way too nice.
Gotta pass. And then I wrote, have fun with the bros. And then he wrote back, I'm a super early riser. Not everyone is. Smiley emoji.
Oh, God.
And then I want to write back, you dumb bitch. I have a child. I'm up at 5 a.m. Wait, I can't meet you at 8:45 a.m.
Yeah, that's
I'm
on you?
asleep till noon?
Yeah, what the fuck is this guy's I'm so mad.
But again, and then I let it trail away.
I mean, is this what straight people do? This is terrible.
I'm sorry that I've taken our voices so high.
I am not sorry.
Our voices are so high, but just when he said, sorry, I'm an early riser, again, implying that I couldn't make
your
that.
problem.
Well, just that him thinking I can't make that time because I'm still asleep.
In what
is
world?
The issue.
I am so sorry, but in what world is 8:45 an appropriate time to ask a woman out? It's just not. To ask anyone out.
It felt so crazy to me. But I will say this, and then this is where we can pivot.
Yeah.
It feels like nothing matters anymore because we're in the times that we're in. So like, normally I wouldn't have even written back.
Right.
But now I'm like, everything for the story. And I was already feeling that nothing matters. And then yesterday.
Yep.
I got a news alert on my phone. And this is going to be leading us into controversy that you and I, as you know, have discussed before.
Yeah, we're really at odds over this controversy too, so.
Got the alert on my phone.
Which you immediately shared with me.
It seems like aliens. It was a New York Times alert. It seems now there's evidence that there's alien life on a planet, on a very large planet far away.
There's signs of life.
The word signs of life
on a very distant, faraway planet that is so much larger than Earth that it dwarfs us by like some crazy amount. And it's called like K something 894b.
So many letters and numbers.
And you sent this to me.
Yeah, in a panic. Yeah.
And I received it as good news. I received it as good news personally because I'm not afraid.
Okay.
I'm just not afraid.
So now this is where like the guy asking me out at 8:45 a.m. does not seem as crazy to me as the person who's like, I'm excited to hear about the aliens.
Okay, well, first of all, how very dare you? Because a man asking a woman out at 8:45 a.m. as if that is an acceptable time.
It's not.
That is why I'm glad that there are potentially aliens out there. Like we on Earth are really like fucking nailing it. Like
yeah, but
like it's so great here. Everything's going so great.
No,
we
but
really have this thing called society down.
No, obviously not. But I think it says a lot about the differences between you and me. That you always double down on your feeling that like if there's aliens, they're going to be my friend.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're going to meet them and they're going to be friendly and they're going to be my friend. And then I texted you my firm belief that if there's aliens, they are coming to gobble us up.
And
we're going to be gobbled.
To you
gobbled.
My friend, Jessie Klein.
Yeah. Me?
You would have already been gobbled because there are so many alien life forms out there. How silly are we to think that we on Earth, as like a tiny speck of dust in the galaxy of all these galaxies, of all these other galaxies, that we are the only people, we are the only life forms that exist, intelligent life forms that exist. That's actually kind of not an intelligent, way to think.
But we haven't even been here that long. We're a blip in time, and maybe they just haven't found us yet. But you're sounding very smart with your facts and things that make sense.
I haven't even said anything.
But what I'm doubling down on is that if there are aliens, they're going to just see us as a resource. And they're going to come eat us. The end of the world will happen when aliens come. And it does feel like the timing in every movie.
I disagree.
It's right when shit's hitting the fan and you're like, oh, now the aliens are here.
Jesse, give me your hand. Give me your hand. Let me hold it.
I'm going slow.
Let me hold it. Okay. I'm going to hold your hand through this.
Okay.
Aliens know that we're here. They're trying to protect us from ourselves.
I love that idea.
I feel very strongly about it. I think that
Are we still holding?
Yeah, we are. We are. I need you to hear me.
Okay.
I need you to hear me.
Okay.
I am probing your hand with my hand.
I'm hearing Charlie Brown teacher. I'm hearing a Charlie Brown teacher voice every thing you're saying right now. But go on.
This is the truth.
Yes.
The life forms that exist outside of Earth are so much further advanced technologically.
Giant heads, many legs.
Great. They are far more advanced than we are. In intelligence and technology and all of that.
Why? Why do we know that?
Because it's been proven.
Holding?
It's been proven.
Still holding hands?
Yes.
Proven by who?
It's been proven by, I'm going to let go.
Now I want to hold again.
Okay. It's been proven by people who work at NASA. It's been people who work in the government. It
has never been proven.
Yes, it has, my friend. You're just ignoring the facts.
I don't think so.
I'm just asking you to open your mind to the fact that there is benevolence in the universe, that the universe has been designed by love, that we are meant.
Okay.
I'm just, listen.
Okay. No, I'm surprised. No, hearing you say the universe has been designed by love just took you to a place
of woo-woo.
Just me. It started to get a little Jonestown in here, I feel like.
Well, listen. I just wanted to know if you just wanted a sip.
Yeah, sure.
My
coffee. She died. She's got to watch Dying for Sex again to come back to life.
Guys, listen, I'm opening up. I'm being vulnerable. I'm telling you that I really do think that that the universe is benevolent. And I'm not saying God. I'm not saying
I was about to say, are you saying God right now?
No, I'm not. I'm actually saying the universe.
The universe is benevolent.
And I really think that we on Earth are kind of dealing with the worst shit right now.
It's not feeling great.
It's not feeling great. I think we're not. It's very scary.
Very scared.
And I do honestly think that they are trying to protect us more than they are trying to hurt us. Can't wait to get some emails on this topic.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, let me go see what messages just came into my microwave. I mean, that's a hot take. We wanted to talk about this because I have always been afraid of dying when the world is ending.
Fascinating.
Specifically, but also afraid of dying in general.
Yeah.
And our guest today, who
is very much alive.
Is very much alive. Very alive. She is one of my favorite people, favorite artists. I have a lot of really big feelings about her. She is starring in a new show on Hulu called Dying for Sex that Liz and I just watched. We're texting each other while we were watching it.
We had a communal watching experience.
And nothing has moved me like this show kind of in ever.
Shooken.
And it actually made me feel less afraid of death.
Wow.
Less afraid of dying.
Wow.
I feel like it's a masterpiece that is not like anything I've ever seen on TV. And I think everyone has to watch it.
It's a beautiful, beautiful show starring beautiful people with beautiful souls. One of them is here.
One of whom is here. Should we introduce her?
I can't fucking wait.
Because we've been yapping about aliens for quite some time. And that's on me.
Today's friend is an actress, comedian, and writer known for SNL, Parks and Rec, and Bob's Burgers, as well as her award-winning roles in films including Obvious Child and Everything Everywhere All at Once. She co-created the incredible Marcel the Shell with Shoes On and co-wrote, produced, and starred in the Oscar-nominated film of the same name, Oscar. She stars in the new Hulu miniseries, Dying for Sex. She is, to me, one of the great comedians of our time.
The greatest.
Jenny Slate, you're here to make friends.
I am. Oh, wow. What a nice intro. And I also am confused about why a person would ask someone out in the morning.
Yeah.
It made me upset to hear about it.
Thank you.
It's weird, right?
I don't like it at all. And I do feel bad that person is real because nobody needs to feel weirder about themselves than they probably already do, you know? But then there's the other side of it, which is like, oh, but you don't really feel weird about yourself at all, sir. You think that this is normal.
Yeah.
And then that kind of, but maybe not. I don't know.
No, I don't know either. Bizarre. That was the kind of the extent. I didn't feel any bad intent. I don't think he's trying to be bad.
I don't think the intent is bad.
It's just like that's the text that you're going to get if you're in a relationship. Like, before I meet the guys at 10 a.m.
Yes.
That was the part that felt a little odd.
I don't know what it is.
Thank you for listening.
Past the courtship.
I don't understand going on a date in a time of day when you can't drink without seeming like you have alcoholism.
Thank you for
just for loosening it up. Let's do drinks. Right. Is like you have to. But I don't know.
I don't know either. But it is.
Unless he's a full-blown alcoholic and he wants drinks at 8:45?
Well, when sometimes there are people who will be like, let's get coffee. And I feel like that's sort of the low-key, like, I'm sober.
Yes.
Which is
okay, interesting.
So much respect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's not an 8:45 a.m. coffee. It's a 3, 4, 5 p.m. coffee.
Yeah, or take a walk.
Or take a walk.
Yeah.
I'm not getting an 8:45 coffee with my wife.
At 8:45.
8:45,
I have been awake for... My son wakes up at 5:30.
Yeah.
I've gotten him up. I've gotten him dressed. I've gotten myself dressed.
You made
I've taken
the lunch.
him to school.
Took him to, me
I
too.
have checked my email. I've returned text. I have showered. I've worked out. Like, I've had a day.
Yeah.
I am not sitting down. I'm not freshened up.
8:45, I'm returning from the preschool drop-off. I'm weeping to NPR's Up First, listening to A. Martinez not be able to handle that he has had to like wake up again in this world and say this terrible news to us again.
Again.
Like, you know that it used to be like it's like whatever, like they kind of banter.
Yeah.
You know, Steve Inskeep, he's like, blah, 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 dad
no,
joke or whatever. Like now it's just like A. Martinez being like, oh, and like just Layla Fadl being like, Jesus fucking Christ, you there, A? Or whatever. Like, and it's like, that's how I feel too. And I listen to them, but like, I wouldn't want anyone to ask me on a date at that point, you know.
No.
Then I have to go home and do my journal, which is upsetting.
Yeah,
very,
well.
yeah,
very.
I have to put all that in there, and then I have to dump my body into the toilet. How else are we starting a day now?
Yeah.
You know, and then also just about aliens, if we could.
Oh my God, let's.
I definitely believe they're there. I really like the idea that the universe is designed by love, and I think why not bet on it?
Yeah, why not?
And I went down a big Carlo Rovelli hole a couple summers ago.
Okay.
He's the guy that's like,
Wait, who's that?
He's like Italian and he wears like a scarf on.
Sold.
I love him. I'm like,
just
love him. He's on like
for coffee?
John Oliver's show wearing like a scarf inside and like talking about quantum physics. And he's like, writes these books that's like, you can learn about quanta even if you're like not smart like me or whatever. I mean, he doesn't say it like that.
But that's the undertone.
The books are unintelligible. I cannot decipher them, and they're like sentences, and I can read, and I'm just like, I don't know what he said. But one thing I did kind of understand was like, oh right, math is like a language of the universe, and like it has all the magic in it, and that's why people get all freaked out when they discover like one more tiny equation because they're one step closer to like
the universal language.
Yeah, like to being like actually time travel is real or whatever. But anyway.
I think you did understand some of that book.
I do kind of feel like if aliens come, like they're not, that they would like enslave us and make us, you know, like frack us for our blood or whatever.
Frack our assholes? I just don't want my asshole to be fracked, Liz.
I just feel like they're
like
probably more evolved than we are. We're not that great.
We're not.
I mean, look at the state of our world.
We're doing. It's not that great. I mean, some of us are trying. But
I mean, the 3 people in here,
we're trying.
5, including our beloved friends. Everyone in this room right now is perfect.
We're trying.
Yeah, trying our best.
We are doing our best.
Jenny.
Jenny.
I am. I'm trying.
You're trying so hard, and may I say,
God, you're winning.
You're knocking it out of the fucking park. It's
really
the end of the natural, and you're hitting it so hard that the lights break.
Oh my God.
Anyone?
And does the bat break?
Probably.
Yeah,
I think
it
the
should.
bat
Yeah.
breaks.
Splinters off.
It's splinters,
It's
right?
splinters.
Yeah, it splinters off.
Yeah, the bat breaks.
But that's the energy that you're giving right now. Is it's if there's one person in this world who is proof that the universe is designed by love, it is Jenny Slate.
That's
Yes,
so
it is.
nice.
That is very true.
Wow.
That is very true.
How
By
could
the way,
I
this whole
try?
interview is really just going to be a series of compliments
Yeah.
that we frack up your ass.
Totally. And then it's
Yeah.
also, we've already determined what goes right on my gravestone, which is designed by love.
Designed by love.
Which is replacing wildly elegant, which someone said to me yesterday. And I was like, ooh, wow.
Ooh, I like wildly
I
elegant.
think that's
Yeah.
fair. It's a fair
Yes.
description of you.
Wildly elegant.
You are
Wild
wildly-
Elegance by Jerry. Oh, that's me.
Is that
Well,
a
you
scent?
know.
Wild
You know.
Elegance by Jerry?
By Jerry.
I
Yeah, because
like
most of my
Wild-
friends call me Jerry. Is that, you know.
Yes,
yeah,
I
you
know
know.
that you're
Wild Elegance by
Jerry.
Jerry.
Wait, your friends call you Jerry?
Yeah, or Jer.
Jer.
Jer Bear.
Where'd that come from?
You know, it's so long now that it's been happening that I think it was that I was drunk at a party, and from what I remember, someone was like, "This is Jenny Slate," and I was like, "It's pronounced Jerry," and was like pushing it. And then what I remember is Gabe Liedman, my dear friend Gabe, who
Another
you know,
person who's
one of the
proof that
best.
the universe is
Yes,
designed by
one
love.
of the greats.
One of the best, being like calling me Jerry. And then it just kept going, and it never
fits.
stopped. Yeah,
It fits.
It does fit.
I think it fits great.
And I really do think like a fragrance, Wildly Elegant by Jer.
Yeah, by Jer.
So Jenny, in the world where, again, this interview is one long compliment broken into chunks, I remember the first time we ever met, chunk one.
Yeah.
The first time I saw you was you and Gabe and Max had invited me to come do Big Terrific. I want to say this was 2008. And I had just moved back to New York from LA. I didn't know you guys were famous. I was like an idiot. So I got
but I mean, like the show was good.
the show.
It was a good show. It was a great show.
It was an amazing show. Anyway, so I came to do your show. I remember I got there and you guys were already on. And this is why I'm like, oh, it was 2008, because you were talking about Cindy McCain.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And
yeah,
you were doing a bit about how fucking hideous she is. And you specifically, it was just like a whole thing about Cindy McCain. And from the moment I walked in, I was like, oh my God, these guys are extremely funny. And then you said something about Cindy McCain having triangle teeth like a dragon or something. And I lost my fucking mind. And just within 5 minutes, I was like, oh, she's the most brilliant comedian I've ever seen. And that's the truth.
Oh my gosh, that's so nice. I do remember part of that joke, which was that.
Yeah, please remind me of the rest of it.
First of all, that joke now, whatever that was, is like it kills me. You know, I mean, I don't know a lot of comedians that are looking back on the first decade or even 5 years of their stand-up career, especially if you're like 43 like me and you started stand-up before the internet knew you were there. But where you're like, wow, really glad I put that, into the mic. But because like now it's like, why blame Cindy McCain for her late husband's policies that we were upset about? And by the way, now he seems like an angel.
Truly, truly, American hero.
Everything is shifting. Please give me forgiveness. And I also forgive. But it was like that they are psychos and that
she is
and that she eats that she rides the skeleton of a horse it was that she rode a skeleton of a horse at midnight to somewhere where she would get something and eat it with her triangle teeth.
Yes, it was.
And that they watched Saw, but they just called it the movie. Because it was the only movie. And it's like, now again, like, it's like, I like only wish peace to Cindy McCain. Like, then it was just like, it was very like misinformed, kind of weird, like strangely directed, like inflammatory, burgeoning, but not educated feminism. That was like, you're letting us down, Cindy. Like, he doesn't want us to have reproductive justice or something. And like, I don't even remember, but it's like, just get mad at him.
Yeah.
He's the one that's going to ask for the laws to be made and stuff.
In fairness to you, I will say her vibe was never great.
Yeah.
It was never like a cool
there was
vibe.
a step 40-ness.
Step 40-ness.
Sure. I mean, there's a lot of weird vibes going on.
Yeah, a lot of weird vibes. Again, compared to now, I wish.
Yeah, completely. Let her be. I mean, much love. Yeah.
Peace and love. She's actually going to be on the podcast.
No
issue. You want to be friends with her?
Yeah, I'll sit next to her when the aliens take us to their big, huge home or whatever.
For the fucking cookout. Yeah. But I just feel so proud to know you and so... Yeah, proud to know you and so proud of you. Thank
you. I mean, right back at you. Like the first time I ever saw you you were on TV.
Yeah, same.
You were on Best Week Ever.
Oh God!
And I just thought you were so cool. And I remember like you and Chelsea Peretti and like Andrea Rosen were like you're like the cool women, and I wanted to like be in with you.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Well, talk about like having some regrets about material you put into the microphone. We're on Best Week Ever. Every week I was like, oh, is this a female celebrity who's sad? Let me tear.
I mean, those shows when you think about it now, it's
a little nuts.
Everything is different now. Now I have like not because I myself am a public person, but like just because I'm an adult now and not a 23-year-old pretending to be one.
Yeah.
But like I have a major awareness of other people and their like feelings and not wanting to hurt them in a time when like people do that so much more now because of the internet. It's really weird. Those shows are they're like 8 tracks or something.
Yeah,
they're like really weird programming.
Now listen, Jesse and I were talking about you as if we weren't about to sit down with you, and we were discussing that we feel that you are our generation's Gilda.
Oh, that's so insurmountable. There's no way. But
take it.
You are sorry.
Bend over.
But also uniquely yourself. Uniquely yourself.
Yes. Just like lovable, hilarious in your own very unique way that you're not trying to be Gilda or anybody else.
But I love Gilda.
I mean, of course.
And grew up, of course, like any of us loving her.
Yeah, but you just, I think there's an essence about you that we feel carries on that legacy.
I'm going to try to not let it drain out. Like a characteristic of me is as if no one's ever spoken to me before. I will leave here and be like, I'm a lonely piece of shit.
No, if anything, I would hope that you will feel buoyed by this.
Yes, I will. Yes. No, it's not for nothing, as they say.
No, I mean, so I don't know you personally, but I have been a fan of yours for many, many years and have always felt very sort of familial towards you, probably because of the Jewishness.
Sure. The Hamishness, as they say.
The Hamishness.
Yeah, we've got the Hamishy thing vibes going on. But your special stage fright was so wonderful. It was so funny and clever and hilarious and all those things, but like giving us the insight into your family, into where you're from, into your grandmother. Like it just made me feel like I knew you, but not in a creepy way. Mm-hmm. I
mean, you did drive to her house.
Yeah,
you told me. And sat outside in the car.
No, I was protecting you.
Yeah, you're protecting. Like the aliens are going to protect us.
Else showed up.
Yes.
I want to say one other thing about the Gilda thing, because I was trying to remember. I feel like I once heard you in an interview talking about like how there was someone you had watched who like showed you like there was like a way to be like a different kind of woman. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Sure. I mean, there's a lot. I wonder if it was like, I mean, certainly Amy Sedaris for me was that like, but. And there's like many, I'm not sure what I've said generally in the last, 4 decades, but like, I definitely know that when I saw Strangers with Candy, when Gabe and I were in college and we got those like DVDs from Kim's Video, that I just was like, what? I didn't know that like a female performer could like be like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I didn't know it was okay to kind of be just like full on happy and say what you think is revolting by embodying it and making people see it and making people love it, like, because that can also just seem so dangerous. Like, I can think of a million scary movies where, like some terrible person is like, you revealed me as the thing that I like, so now I kill you, and I just like remember seeing that and being like, there's so much joy in how disgusting the character of Jerry Blank is, and that she's so selfish and
Jerry
and gross. Jerry. And I just love her so much, and maybe that. But I also remember, like, I don't know, probably like both of you, like these people like Carol Burnett and Madeline Kahn, who were just like really funny and stylish. Bernadette Peters, it's just like they were so like especially Bernadette Peters and Madeline Kahn. They made me horny to look at. I wanted to look like them. Like they were so like juicy in every way. And I liked that they weren't like getting in trouble for having like great racks and being like, I'm the center of attention. Like it wasn't like, ooh, watch yourself, girl. You in
danger,
like,
girl.
Right. Yeah. Like I just like really loved that. And I love that about Gilda too. Like, there was also always something about sexuality in comedy that felt really important to me, like that my sexuality and my wanting to like connect and be like a love bug and be horny and be with people was either like not going to be served to me, or I wouldn't like attain it if I had to get it in the way that if I had to present like one of these beautiful leading teen actresses from the 90s, like the Can't Hardly Wait situation, which I loved too, but like just wasn't that. But then like you would see these like gorgeous, funny ladies who are clearly kind of having it all in a classy way too. And I would be like, oh, I guess I don't have to make a joke out of myself, but I also kind of can not think about it too hard and just not separate out my like whatever you want to call it, like not to be douchey, but like my erotic self and my like clown self or whatever. Like it is actually meant to go together.
You are an erotic clown.
I am a bit of a neurotic clown.
Yes.
And
not a neurotic clown.
No, a bit of a neurotic.
A neurotic erotic clown.
This is
next book title.
Neurotic Clown by Jerry.
by Jerry. Pen name for Jenny Slate.
Well, one thing that is, I don't know that I've ever mentioned this before, but sometimes when I'm drunk, I do play like kind of an erotic clown, and it's like it's sort of like a mime, like, but it's bad. And my husband like hates it, but he loves it. Like he'll be like, "Oh, stop it!" But then he can't stop staring at me.
A little bit of it.
It's really bad. I mean, but it'll be like, first of all, imagine me totally drunk.
Okay, imagine that.
And it's like I'm trying to like it'll be like I'm sort of like coming on to him, but then like I'll be like having to like take my pants off, and I'm like like trying to like take a sock off. It's like so stupid, and he's like, "You're such an idiot, Jenny. You're so dumb." And then like I'll be like that, and it's really like it goes on forever, and he acts like he just can't stand it, but he like loves it so much,
wants to bone it,
and he's like, "You're so stupid," but like he really does love it. So in those moments, I'm complete. I've fully actualized.
Erotic clown. Yes. I just want to say on the Carol, because when you're talking about Carol Burnett and talking about like being horny for that like generation of like amazing like comedic ladies, I remember when I first saw the original movie Annie, starring iconically Carol Burnett. Yes, and Bernadette Peters. But Carol Burnett as Mrs. Hannigan, and I was maybe, I don't know, I'm 1,000 years old, so I must have been about 800. But like, I just was, I was 7 or 8 or something like that. And I was like, I am horny for her.
Sexy. She's in her
I was like,
that's
that's who I would like to be.
Yeah.
I want to be Mrs. Hannigan because she is sexy. Yeah. I like everything about her. I was just like, that's it. That's the goal.
What about her weird open mouth with Daddy Warbucks? She's like truly about to fillet his whole head. And like, I just, like, she's like so desperate and like climbing up on him.
It's
and you're like, I'm so horny right now. Like, truly, like it just like you really feel like everything just go into anatomy, like all the blood in my body just being like
pulsing,
like just like oh my god, like whoa,
like inflating a basketball in your puss.
That's how I felt about Madeline Kahn and Clue. Madeline Kahn and Clue. I was like, well, that also. I mean, I felt horny. I think in a much more full way than maybe you guys have experienced. But I was like, like that's exciting.
Incredible.
There's something very exciting about it because you know those comedians that you're talking about. Those are strong women. They are empowered. Like they're not apologizing for their sexuality.
Yeah,
they're leading with it. And I think like there's your erotic clown. Like,
there's your erotic clown. Cool. I'm going to be thinking about the phrase erotic clown, I guess, for the rest of my life now.
At least maybe your next special should be called Erotic Clown.
Yeah. I know. My one after Stage Fright was called Seasoned Professional because I was like, I'm not doing this again, so I might as well just put a hard stamp on it. Seasoned Professional.
By the way, that was a great special too. That was great.
I love that one too. I really had to really talk to my therapist about there's like the final part, and that is about how much I love my therapist.
We also love our therapist, and we do have the same one.
Really?
Yeah, we do.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she's kind of the best, not to brag, but same great therapist.
So listen, we've been talking about how much we love you, and obviously like been a fan of yours, for many years. And then watching you in Dying for Sex, which you are truly incredible in. I mean, truly, I think I used the word in a text to another friend, transcendent.
Wow.
It was extremely touching, and you really, I wasn't like expecting to feel the way that I do, because I think I listened to the podcast, which is an incredible, podcast and an incredible story, but I got so emotional watching you navigate your character's friendship with your best friend and your sort of growth emotionally and like the maturity that you experience in going through that. And you broke through my Prozac, which is very hard.
It's a hard wall. It's a very tall wall.
She's tried, and but I was fully weeping. I showed you the picture of myself weeping, and now I feel like a little bit I'm dying to be your friend.
You're in.
I'm in. That's it.
Oh my God. That was so easy.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Because I was going to ask if like you had openings and like what are your credentials?
So many openings. Yeah. You got great recs, I'm sure.
I mean, I have some good recs.
I highly recommend.
Nikki Kroll might throw something in there for me. But I mean, do you have room in your carousel of friends for like perhaps a gay married woman?
I have. I have room.
Okay.
I'm gonna run the numbers.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, I'm and this I'm asking for Tig.
Yeah,
this is not about
sure. It's just for Tig and Stephanie. That's fine.
Yeah.
I just I feel like one weird thing, and I'm also like superstitious. I don't want to like jinx myself or whatever, but like a nice thing about my work, knock on wood, is that for the most part, and maybe everybody feels this way, but like it actually has really helped me make friends. Like not like I've had the terrible time with it before, but like I meet a lot of nice people through the things that I love the most, which is again like a vote for doing them in the first place.
Yeah.
Not that I ever had a moment's hesitation about being in Dying for Sex, and I really wanted the role, and I didn't like get offered it or anything. I didn't audition, or at least like chemistry read. Like I could skip most of the process, but chemistry read is like the most intense test.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
It's literally like, do you go with this other person on a level that nobody really knows how to describe? So they just call it a chemistry read.
Yeah.
It's like, are you cool or not, basically, in this context. But it's like the things that I have loved the most have always like made me friends. So
yeah, absolutely. I feel like that's one of the things that I mean, we've talked about this, like having the career that we have where you bounce around from thing to thing, which can sometimes feel hard because you're like, oh, I don't have like a home base.
Yes, untethering, I think is the word we've used.
It can be untethering, but then the joy of it is that you get to go like constantly be like a little apple picker.
Yeah.
Like you get to keep meeting new people.
You do get to collect.
You get to collect, and you almost always, there's always at least one bright and shining star that you take away.
That's
I feel like from jobs.
So were you did you know Michelle Williams before you did Dying for Sex?
No, I'd met her a couple times. She and I we've been in a movie together before, but not in the same scenes. So like I met her at a press junket before and at like a party, but just briefly. And also like am a huge fan.
Yeah, she's incredible.
So every time I had seen her, I just was like, well, don't do anything stupid. You know, like don't be annoying.
Yeah, don't tell her you flush your body down the toilet every
shut
morning.
Up, Jenny. Just don't do anything.
She
Get out.
Probably
just
doesn't.
Leave. Yeah. You know, just like, oh God, I don't want to be weird. But yeah, she is really one of my favorite working actors. She's one of my faves. And I mean, I think I didn't read all the scripts before I went in to do the chemistry read because they were not there available for me. I think they only gave me maybe 3. And I felt that I could do the work. But I think wasn't sure if in terms of like casting purposes, honestly, if like I was famous enough like for them to want to cast me. You don't need anyone else if you have Michelle in terms of just like superstar elegance, like talent through the roof, all of that. But I just was like, I don't know, like maybe they're going to want
a star?
Somebody that more people know who they are.
That's
and
you.
Like that. But I'm not trying to sell myself short at all. But I know this just because I live it. Because it's right. I don't think I'm a bad actor. But in fact, I think I'm like growing more and more, and I like love acting so much, and I, whatever. I think I'm supposed to do it. And in fact, I think I'm like supposed to do it starting now. Like I always wanted to be an actor since I can remember, but I'm realizing that now is the time when I actually can do what I probably wanted to do when I was like 6.
Right.
Like I'm just like, it's like Mary Tyler Moore or whatever, like the, the end of her career, like those performances, you kind of have to do like grow into being able to use your actual spirit.
Yeah.
Your like heart and soul. But anyway, I read the scripts and I felt like what you're saying about finishing the series is like, I can't believe what I'm reading here.
Yeah.
Like I can't, the idea that I would be the one that would be allowed to do this, that I could do this, it would be everything I've hoped for as a performer, like forever. But certainly since like hitting my 40s and having a child and like really just like not wanting to be in discussion about external definitions of my own worth, like just wanting like whatever chance I can get to exercise it on my own time. And that like, I just remember being like, if I could work with Michelle Williams and I could perform these lines and I could go to New York and work in New York, which again is like kind of rare, like, wow, I would like really not have a lot to complain about. And I just wanted it so badly. And I really enjoyed every minute of it.
Can I interject one thing just because, I'm going to interject and then I'm going to ask a question. The interjection is that when you're talking about, and I understand like having that feeling of like, oh, do they just want like the biggest name they could possibly get or those kinds of feelings. But I read something, an interview with the producers talking about casting for your character and how in this part they needed to find someone who was both like lovable enough and like warm enough. And you're like, I believe in this friendship. But like specifically, they said like we needed the audience to believe, like to understand that this is the person she wants to die with.
Yeah.
And that's why it had to be Jenny. Yeah. And when I read that, I was like, I would want to die with Jenny Slate, not to be bleak.
So
I hope it doesn't happen soon. But I might get a call from me one day.
I mean, I hope in like 50 years, I get that call.
Yeah.
I can accept that.
Sure. Cool.
Yeah.
But not soon.
No, not soon. No. But just to say like, I mean, there's so much. But the question, that was the interjection.
Wait, I want to interject into your interjection.
Okay.
And then I want to interject into those interjections.
Okay. This is going to just be a full episode of interjections, I think.
Great.
Okay. My interjection is that, as a showrunner person who casts shows, and that's like my job to do that, it is almost never about the biggest name.
Yeah, you know what? And that's what I was going to say is like, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Because I was sort of like told like, other people are, they're looking and, this is not like you you got to go there and do your best. I mean, I think my agents who
because you're known for phoning it in.
I'm known for, just like not
so they
hard.
have to kind of snap you to it when it's like, this one counts, Jenny.
I know.
Jerry.
I've just got a terrible work ethic. When I got into that room, what I understood, especially like looking Liz Merriweather and Kim Rosenstock in the face and seeing Michelle, who appeared to be as sensitive and like, oh my gosh, I wanted to do a good job as I felt. I was like, oh, I don't know who I was imagining or like what system. Because of course it's true that as an actor, you're like, wow, I heard that they're doing this. And they're like, yeah, it's been offered to like, not you, obviously. Like so you do hear that. But I walked in that room and I was like, oh, they're actually just looking for the right human performer to do this. And they care so much about this material and they're real and they're so nice. It was just apparent to me. It was like, they really want me to be here. They're not like, being cliquey or whatever. Like they're very kind. They're hoping to find the last piece.
Yeah, they want it to be you.
Totally. And like they want it to be somebody. So like the odds are in your favor that they're not looking to watch. They're not like, God, I hope she fucking eats shit.
They're never.
They're like, please make someone be good.
I remember reading or hearing someone say many years ago, like all of these casting directors and producers, like they want the job to be done. Like they want to be done finding the person. They're rooting for every person.
Every single person.
To be the person so they can be like, okay, we got it.
Yeah.
You have a quality that I always describe when I'm working with a casting director and I'm looking for an actor, regardless of what the part is, that you are root-forable.
That's good.
You're root-forable.
I'm so glad.
You just root for you.
And that's the medical term, root-forable.
It is.
Yeah.
It's
I have it.
A terminal case of
Yeah, you do. I'm so sorry.
That in my Raynaud's.
I wanted to ask, I was glad that you brought up the chemistry read because Liz and I decided to do a whole podcast about friendship because we're obsessed with it and about just seeing like believing in the ability to make friends like throughout your whole life.
Yeah.
Not just be like done making friends when you're 18 years old or whatever. And so then to see this show, which is just an absolute love letter to this beautiful friendship that existed in real life and that you guys bring to life in the show. And I wanted to ask, how did you and Michelle like find the vibe of the friendship in your performance, like from day one, like how, because I think there's also specifically something about female friends, and I think you capture this and your writers captured this, like female friends can really develop a secret language.
Yeah.
And like speak in a way with each other that kind of exists outside of the way you speak to anybody else.
Yeah.
And that felt so beautifully written and observed and performed by you guys. I was just wondering, was that like a conversation that you guys felt like you were always having? Like, how do we make these two people feel like they're part of, it's like you're a terrarium. You know what I mean,
we didn't talk about it at all. We just kind of like responded to each other. The scripts were, of course, like really good. The story's really clear. Each actor is responsible for interpreting the character as they see fit and are, like in the way that they can connect to that character. But I think one of the things that the chemistry read is for is, do these people have like this strange capability to have like an umbilicus between them?
Umbilicus.
We were just
Another
responding to each other. Yeah. There was no like, well, what are you like with, Michelle is famously best friends with Busy Phillips.
Right.
My best friend Quinn.
Sure, yes.
It wasn't, we were working within the work, which I also am really proud of. Yeah. That like, while I just like adore Michelle and am so honored that we got to become friends. I also I appreciate not having to like honestly imagine my own best friend dying in order to like do a performance.
Right.
I don't want to wreck myself. I'm not, I love acting. I'm not a method actor, just because like that's not the way I connect, and I don't know how to do that. I've not been to acting school.
You don't want to be an asshole to people all day because of your special way of acting?
I don't know. Maybe one day I'll be on set with a method actor, and like I can guarantee you it'll probably hurt my feelings unless their character's really nice. But like this for me also was like a test of. What do you call it? Like to see if like if a boat is seaworthy or whatever. It was just like just work within the material.
Yeah.
I'm sure that if I had asked Michelle, like, do you and close friends have like a way that you touch each other's hands when you talk or whatever? I think like because the first few days on set, of course for me, there's this feeling of like, I am working with a movie star. I should ask if it's okay if I touch this movie star's hand and like stroke her hand, But Michelle like is obvious, like, and we could ask, like, is it okay if I like touch your leg while you're, whatever? And maybe there was a little bit of that, but mostly we just kind of like went with it, and the writing was so good, and Liz Merriweather especially was really right there. And Shannon Murphy. I mean, like we just had such good guidance. We could just go right in.
Yeah. Did you improvise a lot? Because I feel like just knowing you, I was like, either this part
is so close to her,
made to be Jenny Slate, or like you, I don't know. There were moments where I was like, I feel like that's something that Jenny just said.
There's some improv, but I mean, one of the things that like freaked me out in a way was that when I read it, I felt very close to it. I mean, not that I'm not at all like the character of Nikki, really. I mean, I do have ADHD, but I manage it as best I can.
You don't keep crumb cake in your large
I don't,
purse?
and my bag is clean and
reasonable size.
Reasonable size.
This is my big one too. Yeah, it's not even that big. That humor, that kind of perverted humor. Liz and Kim like writing in a fart at the end of
I was going to say the
part. Like, I just remember reading that and being like, oh my God, being able to perform this is like how some people like to have dreams where they're flying. Like, I was like, I genuinely can't wait to show how real I can make this. I'm not the farter if you haven't seen the show.
No, Jenny doesn't fart.
I adore those moments where it's like hype. It just feels so real. It feels like sneaking into something. It feels really strange, like wearing an invisibility cloak or something. It's so incredible. But I did improvise the French and the sports part, if you know what I mean.
I figured.
Not Clueless. The Clueless was written in.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Liz was like, Jenny, can you just like do some other stuff? Or someone was like, can you do some other stuff? And I was like, I can do tennis and French. That was all I could think of. I was so tired. But
same feeling.
But a little bit of improv. Oh, I guess
you're like,
she's like, now that I think about it,
the whole thing.
Well, because like it's important for me, like to be like, I can say my lines and act, But Kim at the premiere reminded me, which I didn't remember, that I guess like at the end of episode 1 when we get honked at the hospital, that I jumped up and screamed I could feel that in my asshole.
Yes.
And that apparently was improvised.
Jenny,
I thought it was part of the script when I watched it. I was like, that's like, like.
I will be honest, everything related to butts and farts that came up.
You think I did it, but I didn't. Okay. It was a lot was them.
But what you're saying is that some of it was
a universal language.
Yeah. That part was you.
But it's also really fun to like use my comedy skills within a character that I would never be like that. To yell at someone on the street.
Yeah.
It's like that I can't even imagine it. I
can, but
yeah, I mean, I obviously can imagine it because I can perform it, but like, I don't like roughness.
Yeah,
right.
Unnecessary roughness.
I don't like rough stuff.
Yeah, you're a gentle. You believe that the universe was you and Liz
designed by love.
Little love cult.
Yeah, sorry.
This morning,
Krishna's
I got a pair of pants thrown at my face.
Excuse me?
By a 4-year-old who lives with me, my daughter.
Okay, that's fair.
And they were little cotton leggings. Like it's not a pair of jeans that even had like some sort of, button that
hard button.
I was like, ow.
You can really get hurt by that button.
Yeah, you
of
certainly
course
can.
You can get hurt. This is what you learn as a parent, I think, is like you can get hurt by so many tiny things, whether it's a tiny person being like, why did you bring me here to LA? Or whatever. And it's just like, let's go ask Dad. Let's talk to Dad about why we moved here. I think, it was just for 4 months. But, or buy tiny pants or like especially when they're really young and you're holding them and you, like, I was constantly dropping stuff on my feet. I felt like the injuries to my feet were like this like weird.
Or stepping on a fucking marble.
Oh my God. Sure. I mean, the amount of stuff
I would rather have
my
brains blown out than step on another marble. And I don't want to talk about knock on wood. No, but I'm just saying that is a pain. Yeah. That is so out of proportion.
It's so
to the size of the thing.
The little ways you get hurt. But just in terms of roughness, she was like, she wasn't even trying to have attitude with me. She's like, can I choose my pants? I'm like, of course you can choose your pants, you know? So she's like, I choose these. And like, just whips me in the face with these pink leggings. And I was like my whole nervous system just, it was blitzkrieg. It just was like, no! And it was just, I just got whipped by pants in the face. And I wanted to start crying, and it didn't even hurt that badly, but I just don't like rough stuff. I just don't like it. I really don't like rough stuff. I don't like horseplay.
No, me neither.
I don't like that kind of stuff, rough housing. And I was like, oh, and she saw my face and she's like, sorry, mama. Aww. And I was like, oh, no. I was very surprised, but that's about me. It's not you.
She's like, sorry, mama. It was just tiny little pants.
Oh my God.
Has
I know.
Your perfect angel ever bitten you?
No. Maybe like she's like tested her teeth.
Right.
And like I definitely stopped breastfeeding the second I felt a tooth.
That shit is fucking nuts.
Like it was 8 months and I was like, get away from me.
No.
Like immediately just went from like a double C to like small A. Like the milk was just like, get away from me. I went down to dead raisins, which is what I have now.
I don't know about
I
the
can't
dead raisins.
believe what happened to my titties. I genuinely never thought I would care. And I'm just like, I'm not going to change them, but I'm just like sort of like,
no, I mean, grass.
I don't want to augment, this is what it is.
I don't know augment, but I do know friends who have, I did not breastfeed because I didn't carry my child, but I do have friends who did, and they just didn't augment, but they just sort of like did a little beep, bop, boppy, boop.
What do you mean?
Like a little scoochie.
Why are you not understanding?
Like a breast lift?
Yeah, like a little lifted a little bit.
Yeah,
like, not an augment.
I'm not upset with right now I'm wearing like a padded bra for reasons I actually don't understand.
You look great.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I hardly ever wear a bra. I just like, why did I put on a bra, especially to come here? Honestly.
With these fucking raccoons,
with these ladies
tipped over a garbage can for you?
I guess I wore it, I was on a date before this with my husband. So I wore it for the date because I don't know. I thought, why don't I give him my best?
I mean, generally leaving the house with a bra is
I'd never do it at this point.
Really?
I really just don't care.
See, I had the opposite experience, not to whatever, but like my boobs.
You got more jugged?
So jugged out.
Jugged out. So that is annoying. That's not the name of this
jugular
podcast.
Little jughead over here.
Jugged out with Jess and Jer.
Truly like jugged out in a way that was so crazy. And I remember we had like a night nurse I was like a very flat-chested child. Like I was a late bloomer. So it's a shock to us all. But I had a night nurse when Asher was first born, and her work is dealing with like just women with their titties out, like dealing with their nursing their kids.
God
and I
bless
remember
those wonderful people.
I would say she was a direct woman. But she came in, and again, Asher at this point was like 4 days old. When I see pictures of women who've just given birth and they look in any way human, I'm like, go fuck yourself.
It's crazy.
Truly looked like, you know when you walk on the beach and you see like seaweed that's just like come from the other side of the earth?
Yeah, I look like E.T. That's how I imagine myself. I look like E.T.
Fully E.T. Anyway, I was like, I had a rough go, and this woman was like, you have like the biggest titties I've ever seen.
Thanks, ma'am.
And I was like, oh, cool, I'm still bleeding out. Do you have anything else you want to say?
Yeah, I was hoping someone would tell me at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
While I'm sitting in this
well,
diaper.
I have a fucking pillow that's been made to wrap around my body like a dog's cone after they have surgery.
Oh my God.
Just to close out the show, we always ask our guests about their sort of ravioli moment. Your great moment in friendship, a time that somebody, was there for you when you really needed them.
I was joking, like there have been a lot because there's been a lot of stuff I needed help with. Answering honestly, what comes to mind is like a long, long time ago, one of my girlfriends, I was going through a breakup and she came with me to get my stuff out of the place where like I had been living with the boyfriend I was breaking up with. It genuinely feels like a lifetime ago now that I'm thinking about it. But she came with me to like lug my stuff out of there. And I knew that, and I still smoked cigarettes, and I knew that she had quit smoking, and it was like, and she just did not smoke. And I knew why she quit smoking, because she had like maybe smoked a cigarette during an acid trip, and it was like very deep in her psyche that like she could never smoke again. Like she was, it's sort of like me with weed. Like I cannot smoke weed anymore because of like a terrible weed experience. And I'm like, I think if I try again, I'll actually die.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's a bummer. But anyway, not only did she like come with me to do this thing, which was like annoying, and I was really a mess, but like she smoked a cigarette with me in her car.
Oh, wow.
Which is not a smoking car. And during the ride there, like I expected her to, you know, make me tell, like not make me, but like want me to tell her about like what was happening in the breakup and the kind of like the guts of it or whatever.
Yeah.
But instead, like she just told me about some of like the more intense things in her life and like put us on this other ride. Like it wasn't like this is a ride to, you know, get my stuff out of this place, but it is like just like we're in the car smoking cigarettes. And both of us have been through heartbreak and tough times before. And, you know, that and like my real best friend, Quinn, that is tied with, that was my friend Leah who did that. And then my friend Quinn, I mean, has really been there on the other end of the phone at like, you know, 12:15 a.m., me being like, we broke up, I need to come there right now. Like, let me move into her house when she had a 1-month-old baby, you know, like, and like lived there for a month, like just crying. And my dog had a big cone. You know, it wasn't the coolest. And my dog took a shit on her kitchen table.
I thought you were going to say on the baby.
He got up there and he took a shit.
I mean, no.
Yeah.
Listen, the kitchen table ain't great either.
I don't love the table either.
It was like a full duty, like it looked like a Spencer's gift, like turd, you know, like a fake turd.
Plastic fake turd.
Yeah. It was like a fudge nut, like it was just like he did it and he was like wearing a cone.
Quinn.
Yeah, I know.
That's a real
and
friend.
She's still your friend to this day.
She is. She's my best friend
That's
ever.
the best.
Yeah.
But can I just say that there's something really poetic when you say like your friend took you on another ride?
Yeah, she
like
did.
You're
Leah.
expecting it to
She's
be
the
one
best.
ride.
Yeah.
Because I think that is a really good metaphor for like when you're in your own shit and sometimes you're like, I just need to go on another fucking ride.
I need to be in somebody else's shit.
I need to be in someone else's car.
Yeah.
I need to hear that like I'm not the only one having a rough time.
Yeah, that one thing that I actually did get from the Carlo Rovelli books was like a slight understanding of what a quantum leap is.
Yeah.
And I guess what it is, and I'm sorry if you're going to get, you know, a lot of angry fan mail about that, you know, Jenny Slate said science wrong, but, or maybe it's math, honestly, but that I think it's when like an atom is orbiting and then just like randomly for no reason, like jumps to a different orbit. I think that is that what it is? It's like something is like something's on an or like a nucleus something.
She's looking at the room like we know.
I believed it immediately.
But it's I think it is when like an atom jumps to a different orbit. But maybe I'm wrong. But it is something jumps like to a different orbit. It's like something that was on one track all of a sudden just on another track. And why does that happen? Whatever. But that like I've really thought of that in terms of like, I mean, even now, like it's really horrible, for example, to listen to the news if you're, you know, not into what's going on.
You're not jerking off to it.
You know, disappearing people. Like it is scary. And the ability to, while being held in the reality that we're in, like held in space to find that like different ride within it, a different ride within catastrophe, like, you know, within breakup, divorce, within illness, that is like available.
Yeah.
And I did learn that through this show. You know, like Nikki and Molly are having a really good time.
Yes, they really are.
The moment where you're watching the dogs having a good time.
Oh my God.
Marianne is honestly one of my favorite moments.
The video?
Dog video, yeah.
Yeah.
We were laughing so hard and they didn't show it to us before. And
that's so great.
And then we were like, well, let us see it. You know, because like maybe it's bad, you know, and then you gotta be like, okay, we're not gonna laugh at this. We're gonna have to fake laugh.
But they came through.
They showed it to us and we laughed so hard. And then I was like, oh, we should be rolling. But it turned out we could watch that a lot.
Over and over.
Yeah, it's always funny.
That's amazing.
It's also so cute that Michelle Williams loves that video. You know, like it's just like the amount of things that are surprising about her is she's a little goofy in the funniest way. You know, like she has her own, I'm like, clearly very taken by her. I think she's wonderful.
Who among us?
I mean, how could you not be?
But yeah.
Well, Jenny, it's so hard to say goodbye.
It's really hard.
And thank you so much for joining us. Obviously, if you haven't seen Dying for Sex on Hulu, go immediately right now. Yeah. Actually, you should have watched it before, probably
especially
listening to this.
If you're dead, it will bring you back to life.
It will bring you back to life. Right. And if you happen to be an alien coming down to Earth right now, it's a great way to learn about how to be human.
Yeah.
But go to Liz's house, not my house.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Just if the gate is closed, just respect it.
Do you have anything else you'd like to mention to our listeners before we say goodbye?
People can always buy my new book. I love it so much. It's called Lifeform. It came out in October.
Yay!
And I think it's my favorite writing yet.
I love your book
That's
so much,
wonderful.
Jenny. Thank you for listening. Follow us on social media at Here to Make Friends Pod and let us know who you think we should make friends with next. Email us at htmfpod@gmail.com.
Unless it's about aliens.
Unless it's about aliens, stay the fuck away. But otherwise, go out
and make a friend.
Make a friend.
That was a Headgum podcast.